Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the swamp and to our every other Thursday night politics with Judy. So, any kind of political questions you want to ask,
No,
throw it in the chat, put it in all caps so that I don't miss it. Because my head is all stopped up again, and so I'm doing good to focus. Um, and it looks like there's several of us that all just went live, so we're going to all be competing with one another. So I
people will
won't
be
blame you
bouncing
if you're
back and
here for
forth.
a few minutes and then you jump over there for a few minutes and then maybe you'll come back over here. I do it myself all the time. I'll see two or three people that are on live and
Well,
it's
I
like,
just,
damn it. And so I'll pull them all up and then I'll watch one for about 15 minutes and then I'll mute it and I'll flip to another one and I'll watch for about 15 minutes and then I mute it and I go to another one. And it's the only way
but I
at
still
least you
watch
get
all the
to see a little
replays.
bit of somebody. Huh? You still
Yeah,
what?
I still watch all the replays. So I watch all the replays.
I try to, but I'm. It seems like I can never catch
I
up.
know. Well,
And I even put it on like the
I
fast
know.
speed, so everybody sounds like chipmunks when they're talking.
Yes,
And
you do.
and even then, I still can't catch
Oh,
up. So it's like I just, I'll go in and I'll listen 15, 20, 25 minutes, and then I'll just flip to another one. And, at least I'm catching some of it anyway. So unless somebody emails me and
you
says,
try.
oh, did you see such and such and so and so? And, you got to see what they said about this, that, or the other. And then I'll make a point of, okay, I'll go in and watch and see what's going on. But it's just
Well,
not enough
I
hours.
just want a cool intro like you have that makes me look like a hot witch.
You go, baby. That's awesome. Um, if I'd have known that, we could have put it in the thing. We could have shared it. So we'll have to do it next time. Next Thursday, not well,
Yep.
next Thursday's Golden Girls, but then the Thursday after that, we'll be
Yes.
back again, and we can do it on your channel, and you can do your promo, your intro, and that way we can just flip back and
I don't
forth.
have it. So I'm bored. I'm not as exciting as I don't have an intro yet.
Oh, I thought you
Oh
said you
well.
did have
I'll
an
get
intro. Um,
No, I said I
hey,
want
took
an
me
intro
5 years.
you
What you
have.
talking about? Took me 5 years to get an intro, so don't feel bad. I mean, I've been trying different things and working with it. And it's like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I can't make this do what I want it to do. And that's
Yeah.
basically how I ended up with the one I got was because I was having a bitch out session with a friend and my frustration because I spent like half of the day trying to make a damn video and I just couldn't get it to do what I
Mm-hmm.
wanted it to do. And he was like, well, I used to do those in my old life. And he's like, why don't you send me what you got and I'll see what I can tweak? And I said, okay, that would be cool. And I got the intro you saw back. I was like, dude, that's not tweaking. That's
That's
a whole new
amazing.
thing. Well, he's like, I thought you might like this better. And I said, yeah, you think? Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Let's plug
I
these
love it.
in. Oh, and I'm so excited. My tablet came in today. I've got it plugged in charging again.
Ooh, nice.
He had sent me a gift card for Amazon, and I went and I found an HD, an Amazon Fire 10 that I got
Oh, okay.
really. It's like during one of their Prime Day sales, so I got it like really
Yeah.
cheap. It's what I would normally pay for it. So I was like, this came in at the perfect time. I went and got it, and then about 2 days after I ordered it, I got the cover. I had picked out the cover that I wanted for it, and I had saved it on my wish list, and then forgot about it. And somebody bought it and sent it to me, and I was like, "Oh wow, I've got the
Love it.
cover, but I got the tablet, but that's okay." It's like, at least I didn't switch tablets to something else. I would have really been screwed. Um, I would have had a cover that didn't fit, but it was the cover that goes with it. So, and I went with purple this time, or lavender. I guess it's more lavender color, but
I love
on the rose gold thing for a long, long time, and now you just
Oh, yeah.
can't find new phones and stuff with the rose gold or the oyster blush or the preppy pink.
That
I
was
think is the one
yesterday.
where, yeah, it's like gotta go with a new color. Um, and I
I
know the
get
phone I want to get, I just can't afford it. And they don't. They have it's
yeah.
either black or it's like pea soup army green. It's like, who wants a phone like that? I mean, it looks like I puked on it. It's that ugly army green, pea soup green color. I was like, yeah,
No,
that's not look. It's like you couldn't come up with
that's
something
not
like
okay.
maybe like a pretty jade or
Right?
something, or a pretty blue, or
Mm.
even a red would work. I mean, no. So, because I like the
Well,
Motorola phone
no,
using for the
no,
last
no
six.
more. They're anti women and minorities, so they probably lost the female influence.
Exactly. Everybody, they're all for trying to. Oh, I saw a video today where I showed up at a school and went and started yanking people out of their cars in the pickup line at the school,
Yeah,
and and
that
then
happened last
holding them
week,
for
I
a few
think.
hours and then releasing them.
Mhm.
I was like, what
Yeah,
the hell is wrong with you people? And there was
yeah,
one, they drugged some teenager out of the car and had her on the
yep,
ground, was roughing her up, and a teacher ran over and was like, "What are you doing?"
yeah.
And it's just it's becoming more and more
In my
obvious
area,
they're not going for the brown people anymore. They don't give a shit what color
no,
you
it's
are. They're
anybody.
coming for you. Yeah.
Anybody. Yeah, in my neighborhood, I live in a pretty high Latino area, and in my
Yeah.
neighborhood, I guess there's a gym nearby, and ICE was hanging around, and somebody was filming them from inside her car using her phone to like film them, and they came over and smashed her car window.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they I've seen them smash windows out.
That's not
Um,
legal. Yeah,
yeah, it's like,
there's nothing that they do.
and people
Nothing.
are all, like, well, we'll never be able to find who all they are. They got paychecks. We can find them.
Yeah.
So when the Democrats get
That's
back
see,
in
that's what I
control,
said. I did a
they
reading
got
the other day.
paychecks.
There
That
will be
means
a
their
day
name, their social
that
security number,
mhm,
yeah, their info is in the system.
we can
We
hunt them
can find
down.
them.
There will be trial.
And there was a little thing called
There
the
will be
Nuremberg trials back in the late 40s, early 50s,
trial.
where I was just doing my job,
Right.
was declared that's not a valid excuse. You're still responsible for what you did. And
Right.
I know
Yep.
I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger did
And the
like a
facial
30-minute video.
recognition too. If they can use it on us, we can use it on them.
Yeah, exactly. I guess it was before the election because he hadn't won yet, and Arnold Schwarzenegger did a video, like 30-minute video, where of course he's from Austria, and he was
Mhm.
he was around, during that time as a kid, and his father was one of the Nazi SS guys. And he said most of the men in town were. I mean, they were kind of rounded up, and you're going to do this or you're going in the camp. And they did what they were told. But nobody really fought against them. And he talked about how after the war was over and it was done, that it wasn't just his father, it was all the other men in town who just kind of like went through life at that point like the Walking Dead. They just no life left in them because they knew what they had done was horrific and not excusable. And and a lot of them couldn't live with it. A lot of them were heavy drinkers, and they got they would beat their wife and their kids, and just um, it was really it's really sad. Patrick Stewart, Captain Picard from Star Trek. Um, he talked about his dad was one of those men, but from England, and how he was an alcoholic and would beat his mother and beat his son, him, um, and whatnot, and which is why he is so involved in organizations that protect women from domestic abuse. And I saw him on a stage giving a speech talking about it. And I mean, the man was like halfway through his story and he started crying. It's heartbreaking when you see these very talented, very uh, emotional, I guess, people that they play characters or they give off the vibe of being these tough men. They're strong, and then the minute they start talking about this stuff they grew up with, they're like a basket case, and it's really sad. And I mean, we're still all feeling PTSD from the first go around with this idiot, and now it's back and a million times worse, and it's going to be a while before it gets any better.
So think about this. Think about this, that as long as this has been going on with F45, that the young people now, they completely grew up their entire childhood with him. People in their early 20s started with this at their early teenage or preteen years. And so they've grown up with this, basically their entire lives. And so they've been groomed to this way of thinking, in a lot of them. And which brings me to what did you catch the GOP chat, the young GOP chat that was released? I don't know if you saw that or not, but how racist it was.
Just a couple of little clips in the shorts.
Well, it probably doesn't surprise this, but yet these young men have grown up with this, and that is now they're completely groomed to be these modern day Nazis, basically, be misogynistic and racist and all of that. They've grown up with this whole environment.
And you think of all these kids who are on the being attacked end of things, who are being ripped from their families, all this stuff. All we're doing is training a new generation of terrorists who are going to grow up with one goal in mind, and that's to kill Americans.
That's
exactly. And it's like you reap what you sow is what it comes down to. Karma's going to come back around and kick us in the ass really, really bad. We're going to be paying for this for a long damn time. It's
well, and what's going to help put the kibosh on that is justice, and having our version of the Nuremberg trials and bringing them to justice, because we can hunt those ICE people down. We have, if they're being paid, just like what you said, I said this on a video the other night, if they're being paid, we can track them. So a lot of them, I think, are going to flee the country and, whatever, but we're going to catch a lot of them. Sure. Not all of them, but we'll catch enough of them. Whereas Jan 6 were a lot of the Gen X males that are still, misogynistic and all of that. That's what January 6th was. Now they've groomed into the young adults, and, that grown up being groomed to be, racist, misogynistic pigs, basically.
And Roxy,
they do get paid.
They've got quotas they have to meet, which is why they are now just yanking people willy-nilly out of cars or out of their houses. that apartment complex that they attacked last week.
Yeah.
The owner of
Gyms.
that building said, you know, it
Mhm.
wasn't just the trauma that the people went through, but they like busted in doors and busted out door frames and broke window. He was like, it's going to cost me thousands upon thousands of dollars to repair
Yeah. They just start
everything
breaking.
well enough so that people can go back into their apartment and live, if they even will go back in. And so uh, I'm seeing several really why does he do that? Every time I go online, my cousin calls. It never fails. Um, it never fails.
He
Um,
knows.
and yeah, Sheila, you're right. It's all to instigate violence so they can declare martial law. That's exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to push
He's
people's
gonna do
buttons
it anyway.
so that, yeah, but this, if he can
He's
make
gonna
people
do
get
it.
and fight back, then that gives him that little sheen of,
Mhm.
see, I told you that they were all crazy and blah blah blah. It's driving them nuts that
Find
they're
a way.
getting people
I
dressed
mean,
in
okay,
frog
so I live.
costumes and whatnot and
I
dancing
live.
up and down the street. And
That's what I'm saying. I
is
live
that
in
what happened
Portland,
for you?
and that's. I mean, I work literally right smack downtown Portland. And on my channel, I've been posting pictures just to get it out so people can see the reality. Because I kid you
Yeah,
not, I have other people that live in Oregon that contact me and go, "Oh, it's so horrible. I'm not going there." I'm like, dude, I live here and I work right downtown. I am telling you, there is nothing going on. And then there was, but what they're posting are pictures from other countries or from other city riots or whatever.
or
They're
years ago,
manufacturing their AI videos, whatever. It's, I'm what?
I said, or from years ago,
What was
you
that?
know,
Oh, from
what?
years ago, yeah. So
Yeah, um,
there was a protester that was injured that they called in an ambulance for the other day, and the ambulance came to pick up the person that was injured because ICE just randomly, once it goes dark and the facility closes, they start shooting off a bunch of pepper balls and a bunch of smoke bombs and gas and everything else just for the visual effect, because they've embedded right-wing, you know, influencers to start videotaping and all that, or recording. And anyway, and they'll usually pick at least one person that they all go out and they attack and they drag them off. There's one that they pick out at least. Well, they injure people on their way to get whoever they're targeting, and there was somebody that needed an ambulance, and so the ambulance came to pick them up, and they came out and surrounded it and stood in front of the ambulance. This person was in plain clothes, but just had a gaiter up. But he stood in front of it so that the ambulance couldn't move. The driver's like, look, I need to go. And so then more came out because they insisted on going with this person to the hospital. And they said, no, you're not illegally allowed to do this unless you have a warrant. We're not letting you in the ambulance. And so then they got mad. And so the ambulance driver put it in park, and you know how when you park it kind of moves a little bit. It did that,
yeah.
and they just descended on this driver. They put a gun in his face, and they said, "You are in danger of running over a federal officer. You tried to hurt us, and you tried to run us over." And they all got in his face and threatened to kill him and like all this stuff, and still wouldn't let the ambulance go. And I mean, that's the kind of stuff. It's just ridiculous. They're
Well,
completely,
Chicago,
trying to incite violence. And
the mayor of Chicago and the police chief gave a conference. I think it was yesterday, a news conference, where they were furious because um, they were attacking people, and I don't remember what area it was or something, but it was ICE calling 911 saying that they were under siege from these maddened protesters. And when the police department showed up, there was like 30, 40 protesters just going up and down the street with placards. They weren't even yelling anything. And they're like, what the hell are y'all calling in false, 911 calls? That's a charge. That's. And so the ICE guys came out there all pissed off and started shooting off the chemical agents. And over 20 policemen wound up having to be taken to the hospital from the pepper spray and stuff. And the police chief was
27.
furious. It was saying something to the extent that if that happened again, they would start arresting every ICE person in sight, and your ass is going to go to jail.
That's what it's going to
be. It's like, that's what it's going to come down to.
Well, so the other thing that's happening too here in Portland. Yeah, but here in Portland, so we had our so the judge said absolutely not. You're not going to federalize troops to bring them in. And so then they said, okay, well, we'll go pull up California's. And they said, no, you're not allowed to do that either. Here, let me stop you here so we don't do this 50 times. Nobody is allowed in. And our National Guard made the public statement that our duty is for either the Constitution first and the citizens second. So we will stand with the citizens to protect them from ICE. So now what he's doing is he's sending our Oregon National Guard to Texas so that they can't protect the citizens.
Yeah. But that's not the only state that has come out and said that. Several other states have now made the same statement. That if our National Guard gets called up, then their job is to protect the protesters, and that's what they're being told. And if they don't do that, then they're going to be court-martialed. Yep. And I'm like, that's what it's, and it's so funny because about a week before the Oregon military guy, head guy spoke, I had a vision of policemen and military men with their arms linked, like walking in front of protesters as a shield against the ICE. And I told a couple of close friends about it. I was like, I had the wildest vision. I said, but I don't see how this is ever going to happen with the way things are. And then a week later, I'm hearing this guy saying, no, our guys have been told this is what's, and I'm like, oh, holy shit. I was like, I guess I was given that for a reason then, but it's
exactly what's going to happen.
Hi, Aaron. I lived in Phoenix for 10 years. So cool.
Versus
that's what it's going to come down to.
It's going to be all the states
from the side that are always screaming about states' rights. We can't infringe upon states' rights. Well, now they're wanting to infringe upon states' rights. In Chicago, they put up chain link fencing across a major thoroughfare road that people travel to and from to get to work, and they put up a fence going across the road, completely blocking the road. And the mayor came out and said that fence will be removed before the end of the day, or heads will roll. I'm like, oh, holy shit! I mean, Chicago's not playing. I mean, I love the way Portland's coming because they are making fun of them, and they can't stand it because they don't have a sense of humor. And Portland is Portland, and that's what we love y'all for, is because you're just making fun of it, which is fantastic. But then you got places like Chicago where Al Capone once run, and there's a reputation there. And they're like getting up there saying, y'all gonna take care of your shit and do right, or you're gonna be answering to us. And they're not playing. I'm waiting any day now to open my news clips and see ICE being arrested by Chicago police officers.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see them start being zip tied and put the pepper spray in there. It's like, be as cruel to them as they have been to all of us, is what I want to see. Yeah. But then the better part of me is
they pepper sprayed the air hole of our Froggy.
I mean,
and his
hell, in Chicago, they shot a damn pastor in the head with pepper balls.
Oh, with
The
the
guy
gas
was
ball, the pepper
praying.
ball. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they shot him in the head.
Yeah,
And they kept shooting him. He said he had marks all over
yeah.
his body. I saw an interview several days later,
Mhm.
and he said there were protesters who were trying to protect him with their bodies that were getting all beat up to hell from the pepper
Mhm.
balls and the pepper spray and everything. And it's like fifth grade bullies who have been given the keys to the
Oh yeah.
kingdom and set loose to do your worst. And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, this is going to come back to bite y'all in the ass really, really bad. It really is. Um,
Mhm.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
Hello to everybody. I
So
forgot to say hi to everybody when I started. I'm sorry.
yeah,
So,
I
hello,
had
everybody. Go ahead.
I had the same reading though as what your vision was though. That came out in a reading I did. I don't know, it was like last week or a week before. I can't even remember anymore. It's all a blur. But that same thing. It was going to come down to the
Yeah.
police and the National Guard and the people standing up against the federal troops. It will come to that, and that's what it's going to be. It's going to be states versus federal. And why are we paying? Oh,
Yeah.
and he has stripped from the blue states now. He's stripped any kind of national security and
Well, they're trying to
terrorist type
strip all the
funding.
monies for anything. Yeah.
Yourself.
So they're defunding the
Yeah,
police
and so
in
why are we
states that they don't
paying
like.
federal
Yeah.
taxes? I mean,
And
that's ironic. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. No, I'm
crazy.
not going to a No King's March. I'm civil service, so I have to be very careful what I get involved with that's political, or I could get the axe. Um, and that and the fact between that and my back, I can't walk or stand for any length of time. I have to be able to sit. Because my back is like fucked up from top to bottom. I've already got a steel rod and 6 screws in my neck that holds my head up. And they're talking about doing it to my back. And I'm like, yeah,
Yikes.
we're going to wait on that. So I am there in spirit, but I can't be there
I
physically.
am. I'm working
Um,
that day.
say that
I'm
again.
working that day. My son is on the I'm working that day. We're also not supposed to talk politics at work, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Just hoping that ICE doesn't step foot inside of where I work because I have very little filter. I kind of want to keep my job, and it's not going to be good for
Yeah.
anybody if that happens. I will say that, but my son is involved with the Democratic Party here locally, and he's going to be speaking actually. So at one of the protests, so that'll be interesting.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Uh, all right. Let's see here. I got us a few questions going. Uh, right now, all I'm waiting for is I'm waiting to see police departments start arresting them because basically the ICE people are breaking the laws. They're breaking the laws of the city, of the state, of the country, and they don't care because they've been told be as
In the
vicious
Constitution.
and as cruel as you want to be, and the more the merrier. And so um, it's time to turnabout's fair play. It's time um, to hit them back with the same. Uh, yeah, Chicago and California, well, Illinois and California both have passed laws that say that they can't wear the bandanas, the masks over their face, and that they have to carry identifying uh, insignia on their clothes and ID to show who they are. So I'm
But
waiting with
are they though? Are
bated
they
breath.
following that rule?
I don't know. I just know that
I
they've
think so.
just passed these laws. So I don't know how quickly that's going to go into effect. Um,
Yeah.
well, Aaron, you can be my best. Well, you can't be my best gay buddy because I already have a couple of best gay buddies. I'm starting to line y'all up down the street here. A friend of mine is like, "You got more boyfriends than I've ever seen, and they're all gay." And I'm like, "Yeah, because they're the fun guys. I can have fun and be me, and I don't have to worry about anything because I'm not interested in a relationship with anybody." And so everybody
Gay
just
men
thinks
are my
I'm
favorite.
crazy.
For them.
My in-laws, my late husband's family, his sisters just don't get it why I'm not remarried. They just don't understand. I'm like, I have no desire to be married. I said, maybe one day I'll change and that will change. And the right person, I said, I've told whoever's in charge up there that if that's what they want me to be, then he better come park his ass at my front door knocking and saying, hello, I'm here. I said, because I'm not going out looking for him. And I have no desire to find anybody. I am perfectly happy on my own. Um, I've got
Mhm.
more men in my house than I know what to do with. I mean, I've got my son, my brother, my nephew, 2 dogs, 2 cats, and a lizard. And with the exception of one cat, they're all male. So it's like I'm surrounded by testosterone. I don't need to add to that. um,
Yeah, same.
so but all right, let's get going here. We've been yakking. I'm trying to. Does Portland have voodoo donuts? Roxy wants to know. I don't know what voodoo donuts are.
I answered that. Yes, we have. We oh, they're yes. It's a place in Portland that does these very elaborate donuts. So they're huge and they're all very creative. Like they're all might have cereal on it, might have cookies on them, might have. I mean, they're like this big. They're huge. And they are a thing that all the tourists want to go to Voodoo Donuts. And yes, we do have Voodoo Donuts. It's about
Yeah,
4 blocks from where my job is, where I work.
it's I know it's getting iffy here, and I just have to, from the get-go, apologize to everyone for the Speaker of the House because he is from my state. It's like it's what an embarrassment. I mean, but then every senator or representative that's there from my state is an embarrassment. So, with the exception of the handful that are not MAGA, um, all the rest of them are. And it's like just sit down and shut up because when you open your mouth, you just prove to everybody what an idiot you really are. Um, and I'm not naming names because again, I don't want to get in trouble. But I can do a broad brush and just say all of them were like that. Um, Um, yeah, I mean, if you go to a march, do not bring your phone with you. Pick up a cheapy burner phone with your lawyer's number and maybe an immediate family or close friend that that if you're given a phone call, you can call them to come and get you. But don't bring your regular phone because they will go through it and strip all the information out of your phone, and you don't want that to happen. Um, Don't bring anything with you
They
that
can
could be
trace you with your
construed.
signal.
Yeah. And so it's better to have a burner phone. And then that way they just got a bunch of numbers and have fun with that. Um, uh, don't bring anything with you that can be construed as a weapon. That's any kind of batons, any kind of sticks, any kind of rubber hammers or mallets or God, please don't bring a gun with you. Don't even bring a fake gun because they'll shoot you just because they'll say you're waving a gun. Um, uh, you know, no matter what is said or done around you, don't get angry. Don't let them push your buttons because that's what they want is they're trying to create chaos. We win by laughing at them and not engaging in that part of it. And I think that's they've got over 2 million sites now, I think I heard earlier, of where there's going to be marches around the country. I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot. Um, because you figure if there's just 10 people that shows up at each one, that's a lot of damn people that's going to be marching. So just
We had
be
5
calm.
million for No Kings One that marched, and we need 11 million is the percentage number to tip the scales into shift change. So if it does a little more than double at each one, then
I think we're going to triple that
people
number
in the country involved to tip the scales. Yeah, I hope so.
It's I did a reading the other day and it kept showing me threes. And I was like, okay, I think we're going to triple this because
Ooh, good.
So, let's hope
Great.
I'm right on that one. Yeah, bring a burner phone. Don't bring anything that could be considered a weapon. Don't get angry. Don't shout. Don't call them names. For God's sakes, don't throw a Subway sandwich at them. They can't handle it. I mean, I think it was Portland. They had a group of them walking around that were dressed up like fishermen, and they had the plastic fishing poles with big donuts hanging on the end, and they were like waving the donuts in front of the ice. And I was like, oh, that is just too perfect. Because damn well half of them were like, those look good. I want to eat one of those.
So I think they were Krispy Kreme because Voodoo donuts are too valuable.
So just if you're going to be marching, excuse me, if you're going to be marching, stay calm, laugh, have fun, dance, sing, whatever you need to do to keep yourself in that headspace. Don't let them push your buttons. Just don't. If they try to grab you, arrest you,
so what they're saying
whatever,
in our area,
roll up into a fetal position and cover your head. Protect your head at all costs because you don't want to wind up with a traumatic brain injury.
What they're saying in our area, because everybody wants to protest at the ICE facility, but we're pretty good at, Oregon loves to protest anyway, or Portland loves to protest anyway, but they're saying to protest in other areas, not in the ICE facility, although I'm sure there will be a lot that will go to ICE. But I mean, we even had a marching band that marched through the other day. And remember I said they always go out and they attack one person? Well, they attacked a clarinet player. And what they do is they come up and there's a person that grabs each limb and they pick you up and they drag you off. And then they have a person in front and back to escort. And then there's usually a wall of them that walks backwards to make sure nobody runs up and attacks. But they drug off this clarinet player and they accused her of basically using this as a weapon and that she bit him and kicked him and she was attacking them. She was in the middle of a marching band that was going through and they just ran up and grabbed her. So they're going to create whatever fabrication they need to. So if you have an ICE facility, even though it's tempting to protest at the ICE facility, organize in other areas because the protest is still valid.
Make them leave their stronghold.
Give them a reason to come out and attack you, basically.
Make them leave their stronghold and have to go out into the public, because when they do that, you've got tow truck drivers that are driving up and towing off their vehicles when they stop and jump out. You're starting to see people that are like blocking them in, like cars will just come up and park all around them, and then the people jump out and run. So it's like, so they've got to like drive over a vehicle to get out of the way. Um, Celtic Seer, I like the way you think. She said for me to wait till he has mega bucks and treats me like a queen. Yeah, you're right. um, uh,
Right.
oh,
Go
that's
slay,
great.
queen.
There you go. There you go. Do that. Sheila says they're having a food drive for the food bank with the No Kings protest in Vancouver. That's awesome. See, things like that. We got to be creative, and we gotta have fun with it. That's what drives them crazy. When we go out and have fun with it, they come unglued because they don't know how to process that. Um, I'm hoping so, Joy. I think it will eventually,
Hmm.
but
It's already
yeah, there have been.
It's already come
It's already been happening. That's why several states have now passed laws that they can't wear their bandana or their mask things around their
out.
face. That they have to show who they are. So, all right, let's get to some questions
There
here,
are
Brenton.
several lawsuits that are already pending against
Yeah,
them for sexual abuse, for in the facility and also outside of the facility, for just regular abuse, for unconstitutional, for lack of due process. They have several lawsuits pending. Whether or not right
yeah,
now they'll go anywhere, but eventually they'll be caught and they'll be penalized. They will face judgment.
absolutely. And good for them. Oh, I've got 2 new members. Well, thank you, SKT810 and Deborah Balazan. May I ask that you please email me with your email address? And if your channel name is different than your name on your email, let me know who you are so I can match them up, because we've got a members live stream tomorrow night and we've got a members meeting next weekend. And it's easier if I can email y'all the Zoom link as opposed to just posting the Zoom link. So if you'll just give me a quick shot, a quick email, swampvoices@gmail.com, and say, hey, I'm a new member and this is my name and this is my channel name, and we're good to go. So, okay, first up was Sure Spirit. She says, I'm curious if the energy has come a bit around okay, I kind of get what she's saying there because I've been feeling really weird energy this week. Like things are just, I don't know. Have you been feeling like weird energy? Just kind of like things don't feel normal right now.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like he F45. I feel like he's got a plan and he's going to do something to retaliate and cause a big show,
Oh yeah,
and it's going to be big and not in a good way. And he's
yeah,
he's he's got something planned. How would I feel? Like there's something that's going to come down that they're going to use, and they're going to say it's because we're anti-American and we're Antifa, and well, yeah, that would be fascist. So, anti-fascist. If you're not anti-fascist, that makes you a fascist. So, but they're it's an ideology. They're calling anybody who disagrees with him a terrorist, and so
yeah,
he's got something planned to attack the citizens and the terrorists. It's going to be interesting what happens. The military, I think, if he tries to call upon the military, they're going to say absolutely not. They're not going to.
yeah.
They're not going to condone that.
Or they're gonna
But he's
show
got
up
something
and
planned
they're
to instigate.
yeah, or else the
Yeah, but he
military is gonna
told
show
him
up
that, I
and
think,
they're
and
gonna
and
be
they're
like
oh
flip the
the
switch.
other The other thing, though, is I feel like, how Keg's Breath had everybody try to sign an agreement to only the government could approve what stories they had out, and anybody but OAN, because OAN is their preferred choice because it's state news basically, and everybody else, even Fox News, said absolutely not. I'm not signing it. I think they did that on purpose so that they had cover, so that whatever's going on behind the scenes, they didn't want cover on. They wanted to be able to operate without any media around, and they're planning something. Even though I'm sure they know that this is temporary, but a few days is enough. They're planning something.
Intimidation tactics. That's the first card I got on this. They're definitely planning something. Unwavering stance. They're going to double down on it. Whatever it is they do, they're going to double down on it and say, we're the boss. We're the, and in the process, they're still selling secrets. So
he's been doing that.
Are you throwing on this question, or are you going to go for the next question?
Yeah, I'm got interesting cards.
Okay.
I'm going to pull one more. 1 second. I got another deck I'm going to pull from real quick.
Go for it. I'm going to skim for any other questions.
Okay. So I've got one was just, obviously use your intuition. Your intuition is correct. So what we're thinking, like they have something going on behind the scenes. This is just kind of validation for that. And also I pulled from another oracle deck. It's called Hard Truths. And this one is the unseen. So there are factors you haven't yet considered. Look beyond the obvious for hidden elements that could impact your decision before making a move. So yeah, I think there's something going on, and this is validating that.
Well, Arthur went into a trance on air the other day. I guess it was last week.
Yeah.
And when he came out of it, the first thing it was October 17th. Yeah. And that's tomorrow. So, and it's
he's got something planned too, because he doesn't remember he's a narcissist, right? And so this is taking attention off of him, or putting it on him in a bad light, and a narcissist can't handle that. So he's got to try to level up and take the stage back. And so, if they're expecting possibly 11 million people to protest against him, he's got to do something huge to grab power back. There's nothing more dangerous than a narcissist that has no options and is backed into a corner. And I could tell you that sadly from personal experience.
Anytime you get a wounded animal in a corner, it's going to be 100 times worse. And the thing of it is I think that they've forgotten that most Americans feel the same damn way. You back me in a corner and don't give me a chance, and I'm coming out swinging. So,
right. That's right.
They're not doing themselves any favors. They really aren't. So
this is what's going to kick off states against federal, I think.
Well, and I'm just going to throw up several questions back to back here, because they're all asking basically the same thing. First is Jane Mackesy. They're planning on having the naval ships go to San Diego and areas, not San Diego, San Francisco and areas around there close to where Camp Pendleton's at, and then have them shoot stuff over to Camp Pendleton, which doesn't make any damn sense at all. You don't go.
They will not.
you don't have your Navy shoot at your military bases in your country. That's going to be a bridge too
No,
far for a lot of
that is
people.
treason.
Exactly. And
That
so
is
this is
treason.
what Jane said.
So I have 3 cards
then,
on this. Oh,
yeah, Carlig had this.
So I drew 3 cards on this whole concept. I came up with Lovers. So he thinks he has an agreement with the generals and with the military. He thinks that they're on his side and they're going to do his bidding, and they're not. They're not. There's a lot of have the Magician. They're going to do all kinds of, we call it friendly sabotage. They're going to do all kinds of things. They're not going to fire on citizens. Absolutely not. That something will go wrong, so they can't, or communication won't be able to get through, or they'll run out of gas. I don't know. There was something they're going to make sure that they're not able to do it. But Spirit is asking us to have temperance during this time and try to just let we're being taken care of, and we have to trust on that. That doesn't mean don't go protest, but it just don't try to maintain even keel and just balance out your don't freak out and don't go into panic mode. We need to stand strong, but the military is not going to shoot on civilians. They just are not.
I don't think that'll happen. I really don't. Even for those who are MAGA in the military, I think that their training is going to be so ingrained on them, and that the men and women that work in that platoon or on that ship or whatever are going to be like, hell no, we don't follow illegal orders. And so, and I think a lot of the leadership knows that. Most of the leadership backs that, so again, it's he's doing everything he can to stir up a civil war.
Yes. Also, I want to throw out something else too. I had this in my video the other night, but something to keep in mind, because we're all indicators we have the same number indicators as what happened back with the Great Depression. There's people that have studied that, and we're at risk of having a major economic downfall, right? What I've seen is that there's a dip, but it's recoverable. So it'll be painful, but briefly, and then we'll recover. However, they've also come out that there's supposed to be a big AI bubble burst, similar to the .com burst. And again, this was on a video I did the other day, but F45 is encouraging everybody to overinvest in this. This is a ploy, because if more people invest and then it bursts, it will create massive collapse, and then that makes it easier for authoritarian takeover, which is what his ultimate goal is. And he doesn't plan on there being another election. He's been putting hats on his desk that say, his name,
Trump
F45, and 2020. Yeah. He doesn't intend for there to be another election. Remember, he said, vote this time, you'll never have to vote again. What he's hoping for is that we will be in such collapse that they can come in and take over, and then there won't be an election. So don't invest in AI, please. Now, I'm not a financial analyst, but that's what he's hoping to happen. And same with the crypto thing that just absolutely collapsed. Anybody invested in that just got wiped out. So do not look to F45 for your financial advice either. So
we actually
just be careful, because this is what he's hoping to happen, is that there will be
we actually had a question on the crypto.
Yeah. There will be so much collapse that happens after F45, because even posthumously, even if he takes a dirt nap before charges are brought. His whole administration and his estate can be penalized for this. His offspring that he thinks he's taking care of are not going to have a great. They'll be fine as far as, how you and I live, they'll be living okay, but they're not going to be uber wealthy like he thinks they are, and how they're setting up to be. They're going to be very, very, their image and their reputation and their accessibility to money is going to be extremely limited.
Mm-hmm. Well, I drew the Four of Swords. That's kind of restless sleep, not getting good rest because you're worried about stuff. And that can apply to either side of this issue. Oh, let's put this back over here where everybody can see it. That's going to apply to kind of where everybody's at with this, because both sides are starting to sweat it out now as to who's going to win it. And then I got the Six of Wands. Now, basically, this is kind of saying success, abundance, things are going to go your way. But I'm feeling like that's for the protesters, that this is just a little reminder that we're going to have a lot of worry to go with this, but that things are going to go our way. It's going to be all right. And then I got the Ace of Cups. And so, Ace of Cups, you're talking about, again, something new being born, something new happening, a new opportunity, a new business, a new way to think. And I think that a lot of people felt that way with this crypto stuff, that it was going to be all, a new way of banking, a new way of doing things, and not following through and following the money and thinking it through to realize this is one hell of a Ponzi scheme. It really is.
Well, it was designed for illegal deeds not to be traceable. That's the whole purpose of crypto. So the cards that I drew on it, I got Two of Cups. So, there's some partnerships and agreements now, and everybody's trying to, hold on to it's greed. They're trying to hold on to their resources and hold on to their money. They think that they're building this little treasure trust, but the truth is going to drop, and then there's some decisions that are going to need to be made. And, when you're dropping swords out of the air and they're truth bombs, wherever they lie, you better be careful which side of the sword you're standing on, because they're going to blindly drop, and then there's some choices to be made. But I also pulled a personal alchemy card in regards to, Baron and all of this too, which means there's a lot of internal changing that's going to be happening. So there's some internal truth that's going to be exposed, and you better figure out how to operate in the real world, pumpkin, because Daddy's not going to be there to save you.
That's it. It's not going to be pretty. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to lose a lot of money over it, because they're going to buy into the lie. And that's what we have to be careful of. We have to pay attention and know what's going on. All right, here we go. American plantage. I don't know how you want to pronounce that last one. Plant agent.
Plantagenet. Plantagenet. I don't know.
Okay, AP, we got you. Okay. Will the GOP get back to work and resume Congress and swear in the new Congresswoman? I don't think they have much to stand on anymore when it comes to that, because her certification came through that, yes, she won It's been certified. The state of Arizona has called it. And I either read something or heard something the other day that technically, legally, they don't have to have the Speaker of the House swear them in. Any judge, federal judge or higher, can do the job, as well as a few other positions
Well, let's see what it can do.
that can be held, that can swear them in. So, Moses Mike has pretty much
Keep
pushed
in
this.
mind, yeah, keep in mind that even when they release the information, it's so heavily redacted. It's not going to give you what we're hoping out of it. What's going to actually release information is when the survivors come forward. And I've been saying this a while, I still feel like there's external forces outside of the United States that are going to release information. And that's what's going to really be the information that people need. The only thing, I mean, what Congress releases is so heavily redacted, it's not going to give us much, except for maybe a few Democrats that they can try to villainize.
Exactly. Well, the first thing I got was holding power, which is exactly what they're trying to do. They are trying to hang on to that power for all they're worth. I mean, they've got those little chubby fat fingers just dug in. And then I got fire, heat wave. So they're gonna I can't help it. I have to be like a little bit rude when I talk about them, but I get fire, heat wave.
Please do. This is
what I feel like there are going to be fires set all over the country, and I don't mean the physical kind that actually burns shit to the ground. I'm talking metaphorically here. There are going to be huge fires and heat waves just blasting us from every direction because people have had enough. And then I got darkness and outage. So they may even try to mess with infrastructure in order to keep people at home and out of touch, because if you're at home, then if you're a good little Christian, then you're watching Fox News. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Right. So I got Two of Wands. So there's some, again, what's your path forward? You're gonna have to make some choices on what's your forward into the light. So you can go a couple of different directions here. Are you going to help the light path, or are you going to go the way, into the dark path? And again, the Temperance card came out. So, and I shuffled for a while. So this is really like, that's the big, I'm getting just everybody needs to try to stay as even keel as possible. Like, don't lose your wits and your intuition. We really have to be smart, because I'm redhead Celtic Aries woman. I got some fire in me, man, and I have a temper, and I'm one who does get mad and wants to, but you gotta use your wits.
I'm a short little Cajun woman who was brought up not to take any shit off anybody. So,
Yeah, right. And then I get the nightmare situation. So this is an absolute nightmare for the GOP, and they know it. And they know that it's the final nail in their coffin. Basically, it's what's going to take them down. So much so they've already started implementing cheating tactics with gerrymandering and all of that. But regarding that congresswoman from Arizona, I get the right person. She's the right person for the job. It says nurture this relationship. It holds the potential for mutual growth and supports this phase of the journey. So yeah, she's gonna be great energy for this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Thanks, AP. All right. My Cajun cousin here, Acadian Proud. Do the
They
GOP
don't
and
care.
students realize that they will go down in history as the villains? This is true. They don't care.
They don't
But
care.
I say that with a grain of salt because they don't care right now because they don't see their inability to hold on to power going forward. And so
That's why they're.
they
Mhm.
go ahead, go ahead. I'm searching for words here and
I said
I'm
that's why they're gerrymandering.
oh yeah,
Yeah, they'll
all
care when they
the
get pushed out of office. Because the
yeah.
GOP, other than the megas, like they may not be able to tolerate voting for Democrats, but they aren't going to vote for this again. So I think a lot of them are just going to stay home and not vote, which is going to only emphasize the blue wave moving forward. And probably no matter what Starlink does and all of that, thanks to Election Truth Alliance and all of them, that they aren't going to have the power to flip enough votes to make it change. So they're going to lose power.
Yeah. First thing I got was Three of Pentacles. That's asking for help. That's relying on your buddies to be there to help you out. And then I got the Six of Pentacles, which basically says the same thing. People there to work together and take care of each other. This is us big time right now. And then I got the Knight of Swords, who is in movement, in action. Swords are drawn. And you have to remember, and I don't care what deck you look at, or at least every deck I've ever seen, when they show the swords as the swords, they're all double-edged swords. They're not a single-edged sword. Double-edged swords means that it cuts going in and coming out. Just saying. So they don't care that they're going to be villains, but then again, they are arrogant enough to think that they're going to have control of the narrative and they can rewrite it that they're not the losers, that they're the winners. I guess would be the best way to put that.
So I got the first card I pulled, Queen of Swords. So the Queen is internal energy, and she takes care of her people and anything she cares about, right? Could be her family, could be her country, could be her best friend, doesn't matter. Anything she cares about, she's going to take care of you. But she's no fool. She can create anything she wants. And she's holding a sword, which any of the swords have an element of sort of truth in them, right? So she's wielding that sword. But as we sadly know, not everybody likes the truth because it hurts. Like Sherry said, it cuts going in and it cuts coming out. So the truth creates chaos.
Yeah.
5 is chaos. And you've got these doves flying around, which you think are fine, but it's creating chaos. So the truth is coming out. It's going to create chaos. And then we have the King of Wands. And a king is external energy. And wands are plans. And fire is action, right? And wands are fire. So, and he's sitting forward challenging you like, okay, the truth is coming out. We got a new plan, kids, and let's go. And you are not getting past me, and that we're gonna right this wrong. That's what this is. And for the 3rd time in a row, the Temperance card comes out. But focusing on the question about the GOP and do they realize they're going to go down in history as villains? What I get are misread signs, which means that they are misinterpreting the signals and wandering off course. They need to reevaluate to follow the path of the natural flow. So exactly what Sherry said, they may have the arrogance to think that they're untouchable, but they're going to find out pretty soon that that's not the case.
Oh yeah, they got a rude awakening coming. A rude awakening coming.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we got time for one more question here. Is there one you see that you want to read on, or one that I already starred that you want to?
Let me see here. Let me scroll back. A lot of them are kind of around the same thing. Somebody, Roxy said, we must ensure that our history is written in truth and everything they deleted must be reinstated. Here's the thing about history is the winner gets to write the history books. And that's no matter what history you're looking at, which is why Columbus Day was celebrated for so long. The winner got to write the history books. And it's only now that people are really, kind of figuring out what actually happened and really thinking about this, that it's like, oh, that probably wasn't a good person to celebrate, right? So, but the winner always writes the history books. We just have to make sure to win.
That's it.
But I'm still questions. Let's see.
We've had quite a few really good ones.
Yeah, they're all good, but fairly similar. Everybody's concerned about what's, especially No King's Day happening.
Well,
want to do a general read on No King's Day?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's just do, and that we can wrap it up with that. Just a general reading on No King's Day, how it's going to go, what can we expect? Because I'm still picking up a lot of really wild energy around that. So it's like 1 minute I feel really hopeful, and then the next
he's
minute
going to do something
really worried. Yeah,
I know. I feel like he's going to try to stop it by creating a larger tragedy or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Candy Bear, we're going to go out in just a minute, baby. Yeah. Well, not an interesting card to jump out. Okay. I'm picking up environment concerns, and not so much environmental. I think it's just going to be looking at it logistically, what's going on around them. There are people that are going to be very conscious about kind of location, where they are, what's happening. I think you could put all of that with environment concerns. I think this is just a warning to be aware of your surroundings. Don't let yourself get boxed into a dead end somewhere. There's a horrible thought that just went through my brain, and I'm not going to repeat it. Just be aware. Be aware of where you are at all times. Yeah, and then I got classified knowledge. So we are looking at people that need to know certain things will be available to share that information. I think with those in charge of the marches. I know they've got a couple of main organizations that were formed out of the last time that have been kind of heading up and getting all this put together. I saw one of the head guys talking earlier, um, and they seemed really optimistic about the amount of people that are going to show up. And I think that, again, just like Judie was saying earlier, we have to hit with numbers so big that they are so overwhelmed that there is diddly that they can do about it.
11.
That they're going to be so intimidated that they're going to be the ones frightened. Then the last thing I got was the current occupant himself, Mr. Four of Pentacles. It was all about greed, getting as much money as he can, put it in his pockets. I mean, if this turns out the way I keep feeling like it's going to turn out, he may very well do a little disappearing act. Wouldn't that be lovely? I mean, that's just a wild hunch. I keep getting thrown in my face. It was like, yeah, don't tell me that unless you're serious. So, oh, thank you, Jules. Go ahead.
Oh, nice.
I just drew through cards. So,
okay, so I got the Fool. So, Fool is often like a new venture, but also this administration is 100% acting the fool, they just are. But yeah, I feel like I still feel like they have something up their sleeve. Like they're going to do something to try to mitigate this or to try to take the attention off of it. So there's I don't know what it is, but there's something they've got cooking to try to combat this. And then I've got the Nine of Cups, which is greed again, just like what Sherry was saying. There's this whole the administration. They're all about
so much
greed.
there, they don't know what to go for.
7. Yeah. Well, yeah. And they're just
there's so much there they don't know what to go for. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have greed, you have thievery, and you have them acting the fool. That's what it is. And then I kind of did it from the people perspective, and ended up with the administration actually trying on defense, going, what, they're the enemy within. What, I don't know what you're talking about. Look, there's fires all over Portland. There's, all of that kind of stuff. But it's gonna, this is a little bit of both. I feel like the people are going to feel like we're bound in a way because we're being so attacked and our rights are being stripped, and they're literally trying to start a war with the people. But at the same time, the people are like, the hell you are. And I think this is going to instigate the states versus federal, and they're going to be feeling a little bound too. So we're getting ready for this.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of push and shove. Hi, Edward. Hi, Annie. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Sharon Sipe. Wow, I haven't seen you in forever. We got a bunch, 186 in the room. Holy shit. That's excuse me. I'm not used to seeing numbers that high. I'm glad. So
all the other lives must have ended.
I feel like I need to bring out the ring, 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 the little noisemakers if you have it. New Year's Eve. It's
oh yeah, that was good.
I still have that weird feeling with the energy, but it's not like negative or bad. It's just weird is the only word I can place with it. It's just this weird energy, and I don't know what it means or what it's trying to tell me. But it doesn't feel like it's anything bad.
Focus on it. if you focus on it, is the weird energy, is it attached to the regime, or is it attached to the people?
It's not attached. It's and I've had this feeling going on. This is like the fourth day in a row that it's been really strong. And I tried scrying with it, and I've tried several things to just, you know, what is it? What is it? And I'm not getting that it's anything bad. Although in the beginning it may sound like maybe it's something bad, but I think that whatever it is that's it's just this really, really strong feeling of we told you so coming from our side. You know, like we're saying to them, we told you so. Like you pushed too far, too hard, and now you're going to pay the piper. That's the feeling I get about half of the time. And then I get the feeling about, oh shit, we didn't get enough people show up. It's like, I don't like that feeling at all. But I think that's just that fluctuation of energy, because it changes from minute to minute as people make up their minds, you know. I think the negative
Right.
feelings is just that a lot of people are afraid. You know, they're just kind of afraid of what could happen. Um, but I think that there's more positivity going into this than negativity. And I think a lot of that fear that I'm picking up is actually coming from the other
Good.
side.
Yeah.
They're in full on panic mode in the White House. So the only ones that aren't scared are the dumbasses that don't know any better.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah, I was tapping into them during like one of my videos, and that subject came up, and I try not to tap into their energy because it's just disgusting, but I tapped into it, and all of a sudden I just felt sick to my stomach. Like they are terrified of what actually is going to happen when the people just
they are
yeah,
they're in full on panic mode, and I think that's what scares me is their panic can cause more harm
because they're
yeah. So y'all just keep focusing, and I've been telling myself to do the same thing for like 4 days now. Picture how you want it to turn out, and that's what you think about. Picture what you want it to look like. Picture how you want it to go, and that's what you focus on. Don't focus on the negative, just focus on the positive. And if we all put that out, then that's a lot of energy going out saying this is going to be successful. This is going to be a great day. This is going to really, you know, put people in their place of where they're not supposed to be. That's the best advice I can give anybody. So
yes,
got
very good.
What you got cooking? What you got cooking this weekend?
I have well, I'm teaching a class right now, which is on Sundays. This will be the third class of 5. I'm recording all of them, so if anybody wants to join into the class, I'll just send you the recordings from the previous classes, and you can join live, you know, just moving forward. But it's all on learning how to work with your energy, learning protection, protection from negative energy, but also like if you're empathic, learning how to start to use your energy. You don't necessarily have to be attuned to different things to have energy and be able to create some. And so I'm teaching some skills on what you can do, even if you're not attuned to things. Of course, that levels it up, but you know, if you're not, that's okay. Anyway, working on that. And then next week, Celtic Tarot Sheila and I are doing a collaboration on my channel on
Sheila's the sweetie.
Thursday. It's on my posts and in my announcements. Yeah, she's fun.
Yeah.
And I have I am in that membership level now, so I have membership options as well. And if anybody,
awesome.
I am also scheduling readings, and yeah, so you can email me for class information and or for readings, healings, all of that. All of that's in my descriptions on my channel too. Judie's Healing Fire.
Awesome. Well, I've got more shit planned this weekend than I can even begin to remember. Just go check the post on my community tab. It's all there. Members live stream tomorrow night, and I think Nate's gonna. All right, I'm gonna look just because I need to see.
I know, it's like
4:30 tomorrow. 4:30 tomorrow afternoon, 4:30 Central. I'll be live with Francine, Purple Moon Tarot, and then at 7 p.m. Central will be members only live stream. Saturday, I have my monthly date with Nate. That's at 11 a.m. Central. Then at 4 o'clock, I'll be live with Trish Campbell from Ribbons and Wax. And then 6 o'clock, I'm doing a pre-recorded show for somebody else's channel on the Knight of Pentacles. He gave me like a handful of cards. Which one do you want to cover? I'm like, I don't care, just pick one. And that's what we got, was Knight of Pentacles. And then the Slumber Party Saturday night with Ramon will be back. And that's it. Sunday is laundry and recuperation. And
excellent.
So did you pull your book out, or are you just going to go with what you already said? All right.
What was that?
I said, did you want to amend your schedule? Did you pull your book out, or did you want to just go with what you already had?
Yeah, just keep an eye on my posts. I will do, my work schedule changes quite a bit, so a lot of it is dependent upon that. So a lot of times it'll be a last minute, I'm going live tonight.
Yeah,
like that. So keep an eye on my posts, and that kind of tells you what's going on.
Yeah, because we'll let you know when we're going to drop something. That's when it comes in handy to click the little bell after you subscribe, and you click that little notification bell, and you click it for all.
Yes.
And then every time we drop something, you get a notification that says, hey, Judie just went live, or hey, Sherry just dropped a video, whatever the case may be. So that's an excellent way to keep up with us. I know, yes. I don't remember, Judie, if you do it or not. I know I post every Sunday afternoon. I post the coming week's schedule at that point in time. Sometimes I have to go in and amend it, but yeah, so I try to let y'all know ahead of time what's going on. And that's it. I'm brain dead at this point. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
I know you've worked all day too. So yes. thank y'all for coming. I do appreciate it. And nice to see a lot of y'all. Sorry I didn't get a chance to.
Thanks to moderators also.
Say again. Oh, thank you, Sue.
Thanks to the moderators.
Somebody in membership. Yeah, big thanks to the moderators. I would not be able to do this without y'all's help, as most of you know. So, oh wait, I didn't see this.
And
thank you for the donation, Dina. Governor Newsom neutralized Trump's closing of California highways on No King's Day. Vance will be here for U.S. Marine anniversary, planning to shoot off missiles to drown us out during rally at Camp Pendleton. Oh, now, call me crazy, but if he's planning on shooting off missiles, and it just so happens that Vance is going to be in California, can anyone say
friendly fire?
Get rid of the VP real quick? That's my conspiracy theory brain going for you. That's not a vision. I didn't see that. That's just my
I don't
brain
think they'll do that either, but
no. It wouldn't surprise me none. So thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Thank you, Judy, and we will be. You will see us over the weekend, in the next few days. We're around. We're not going anywhere. So,
we're around.
It's almost Friday. The weekend's coming. So y'all enjoy your weekend. Be careful if you go on the march. Please go on the march if you can. Even if it's just to stand on the sidelines with a big thing full of cold water that you could pass out to people. That's good too. So just whatever you can do to help. So all right, y'all have a great evening, and we will see you this weekend. Bye.